Video recording, I should say. Well, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Will Hobbs from Wheatfield to Music Gumbo here on 92.7 KOCF. Will, thanks for joining me on this Wednesday.
Well, thanks for inviting us. It's an honor to be here. I love your call sign too. I don't know if you're familiar with Eugene history to the degree that we are, because we were back in the 1970s when Oregon Country Fair was actually started. Well, it started in I think '69, and we started in '71. But we were in one of the first Oregon Country Fairs. In fact, during the first decade, most of them. And yeah, it was a fantastic time, very heady time for music and countercultural stuff.
Oh yeah, and our last in-person Oregon Country Fair was the 50th, which was in 2019, and now we've had to do two virtual fairs since then because of the plague.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it in person again. We've done
Yeah,
several.
definitely. I'm definitely more comfortable outside. You were talking about Don going to get his his COVID test weekly, and I went to my first indoor show last weekend since the pandemic, since February of last year, and it was interesting. It was an interesting feeling to be around 300 people.
Yeah, it felt good though, didn't it? I mean, we
Oh,
did.
without a doubt,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Yeah, yeah.
So one of the spin-offs of Wheatfield is a band called Woodlander. It's a three-piece. There are three of us, all former members of Wheatfield, and we went 18 months without any live performances, because of COVID.
Right. Now, okay, well let's talk about Wheatfield. 50 years. Can you believe that it's 50 years? I mean, I've talked to a couple of other bands members who are kind of in that range, in the 40 to 50 year range, and everybody pretty much says, yeah, it went like that in a
And it
flash.
did. Our memories are maybe they're deceiving us, but it seems as though our memories of the times that stretch all the way back there are really fresh, as if they just happened.
Are there particular touring memories or performances that you remember from those days
That I can
that
share
still today resonate?
that I can share on the air.
Well, sure, yeah.
Oh, one of our favorite.
You
We
can
played.
tailor it. You can tailor it to be able to be on the air.
Yeah. One of our favorite times. We played for a July 4th event in Troy, Montana, and it started raining, and the whole town rallied around us. This was an outdoor show. The fire station pulled fire engines out of the building, and the whole town pitched in to move all our equipment into the fire station, and we continued playing. One of the guys that came sprinkled corn. I wanted to say cornstarch, but I think it was probably anyway, cornmeal on the floor so that people could dance on the floor. And they brought beer kegs in and everything, and we had a great time in the fire house. There was a Saint Bernard that went around drinking everybody's beer. By the end of the night, he was sort
Oh,
of.
so that's how they do that. All right, we brought in Don has joined us. Welcome, Don, to the show.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Will. How you doing?
Hi, Don.
And I did an interview yesterday with a young man, and I was just saying how great it is to be able to, because I'm not a phone person, and it's just great to be able to see people and maybe not sit across from them, but still kind of sit across from them. So thanks, guys, for taking the time.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having us.
So now, one thing I didn't mention was you guys are playing at the Wow Hall on Sunday this weekend,
Uh-huh.
celebrating 50 years.
That's
So,
right.
Don, Will was talking about one of his favorite touring moments. What stands out in your mind over the last half century of playing?
Well, we were, of course, most active between 1971 and 1982, and as Will might have mentioned, there were lots of gigs, and we played quite a bit. And in Eugene, one of our mainstays was playing at the university at the MU Ballroom. It seems like we did many concerts there. And of course, we kind of had a regular thing going at Murphy's, which was on Franklin Boulevard. And that was a great club to play, kind of in the early days of when they started allowing music to even be played
Right.
in taverns or bars. So that was
Right. Actually, when we started, the OLCC allowed bars, the ones that served hard liquor, to have live music, full bands. But the tavern scene, you could only have one instrument playing at a time. So we would change. One of us would play and the others would sing, and then we'd trade off the instruments. Pretty crazy.
Oh, now that's a great way to get around that. Everybody can learn timing that way too.
Yeah. So I think it was 1973 when we started. They could have full bands, so that's when we started playing at Murphy's. And those are some wild times for sure.
People dancing on tables.
Now, as you prepare to do your Wow Hall show, do you guys still enjoy it as much as you did back in those days?
Oh, it's fantastic.
I think maybe even more because we back then we were very active, but we were in our 20s, so we've matured a bit. And
sure,
our voices are a little lower, so some of those keys are down a half step or a whole step. But
that's true.
Yeah, no, it's been great. We've rehearsed 10
times?
7,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 7 to 10 times, and most of them are like 4 or 5 hour rehearsals, and it's great fun. It's great fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume those are in-person rehearsals, right?
Oh, yeah.
They are. We've been doing them like in warehouses, or my sister up in Salem has a dog training facility that's about 4,000 square feet. So yeah, so we've been socially distanced and bigger spaces. It's been great.
And are you doing other gigs besides the Wow Hall?
We played the Ponderosa Club up in Portland 3.5 weeks ago, and that was fabulous.
Excellent.
Yeah, we don't have anything planned after this. It's one of our members used to refer to us as providing the soundtrack for the human mating ritual. And, we're a bit older than that now, so I'm not sure what our demographic is, but
the demographic has aged with us, I think.
But
there are some newer fans that came along the way through the decades.
Well, and I would also imagine that you guys, especially in Eugene, are going to bring in a younger crowd as well, just because to come to the event. I mean, I think it's going to be a really diverse crowd. That was what I noticed last weekend. And so the other thing I noticed from talking to folks that are getting on these kinds of tours, they feel like as far as their playing and their chops, that it is better than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys feel the same way that you guys are playing better than you've played, and that connection between you guys is really strong, that you can play off of each other?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Don mentioned, we matured quite a bit. One of the things I liked about this band forever has been that we're very egalitarian. We always let people shine. But I think even more so now, it's, Don and I share leads. Paul and Don share leads. I mean, we just sort of, take it and seamlessly transfer, the spotlight to whoever has it at the same time. There's no competition at all.
And I think one of the things that I really find satisfying is that the current lineup is a combination between people that were in the band kind of at the beginning, and then as people left, and I was one of them, formed another band in the mid 70s. The fellow that replaced me, Paul Douglas, who came out from Oklahoma, fabulous guitar player, fiddle player, he plays about 5 different instruments, great harp player, singer. Wow. I really enjoyed playing with him, and he's the fellow that replaced me when I left. But now we're both playing together, and it's a blast.
That's great. That's great to hear. Are there any thoughts of writing any new music?
Oh, that's always happening. In fact, John Powell, who wrote Margarita, which you just played, is still writing. And he and I have been corresponding, text messages and emails about getting together and doing some more writing and trying to figure out what kind of course we can plot for Wheatfield going forward. So writing. Both of us have been writing all along.
Now, back in the day, I mean, you guys for open people like Maria Moldauer, Doc Watson, Asleep at the Wheel, Seals and Crofts.
Yeah.
Are there any talks to play with some of those? Because Maria Moldauer just had a new album out, so I know she's out there. poking around. Same with Asleep at the Wheel. It would be great to see you guys with some of them.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It would be, yeah. We'd be up for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'll make a couple of calls. I'll make a couple of calls.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Put in a word for us. Thanks.
So let me ask you, what song would you guys play for someone who had never heard Wheatfield play? Because listening to your music, I mean, it's all over the place, which is what I love.
Yeah.
Did you get the ones that I sent over?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you play one of those? I'd recommend probably Dust on the Highway would be a good one.
Yeah.
That was the one that I was, after we're done, that's the one that I'm going to play.
Yeah. The other one that we sent over was called Portland Town, and that got airplay in the mid '70s for us. In fact, Eugene magazine did a full special art issue on us, and included a flexible 45 RPM disc in the middle of it, and that song was on it. So
they used to put those in cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Did. I think I sent over a remastered version of that one, Portland Town.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, to me, the era that you guys were playing was, I don't think that'll ever be replicated. That creative period of time. But do you think that music can still have the impact that it had during that time in the late '60s and early '70s when you guys were kind of at your peak in that environment, Pacific Northwest in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I mean the styles change. As far as impact goes, I think it really has there were some unprecedented things that happened in the '60s and '70s musically, and you'll never hit those same unprecedented things again. There will be new unprecedented things that happen. I mean, hip hop, for example, was unprecedented when it hit, and it had a lot of influence, and still does. So,
And the jam bands of today, I think, they find a great touring audience because it's we kind of had that thing happening too, where it was. I think people were coming to see and hear us, but they were also coming to those environments, those clubs and those concerts for all the other stuff that was happening, which was the communal energy, it was a scene, and we just happened to be providing the music background for that scene. So, which was great for us. Yeah.
Well, I had asked Will before you came on, how does it feel to hit that mark in your career at half a century, and to be able to celebrate that at the Wow Hall in Eugene? I think it's really going to be an event.
I think so, and I don't know if Will mentioned it, but we played there a number of times in the early '70s, and I think I have a poster on my wall of the 5th anniversary of Wheatfield at the Wow Hall. So that was 76. So so there's a history with the Wow Hall as well as with the community in Eugene.
Now, before there was a Wheatfield, do you guys remember the first song you ever played live, individual, and not necessarily together, but
Will
the first time?
Will remembers the Coffee House, right?
Well, as Wheatfield.
Yeah.
When we started off as a folk duo. I was sitting in the Odyssey Coffee House at the time. One of the other radio stations in Eugene was broadcasting live every Sunday night from the Odyssey, and I had just pulled into town. I just moved there from the Midwest, and I was just a soloist at the time. And I thought, well, this is a good chance to break into the Eugene scene. So I'm sitting there waiting for everything to start, and Pete Wolf comes over to me, and he says, I see your guitar cases, looks like you've got a nice guitar in there. What do you have? I pulled it out. I said, oh, Martin, play something I'd know. So I played Helplessly Hoping, and he started singing along with it. And we just were enthralled by it. It sounded so great. And we completely oblivious to what was happening around us. When we finished, the whole entire place erupted in applause. And I said, wow, I think we got something. So that was the birth of Wheatfield.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I met Will and Pete. I was working as doing a soloist, and I also backed up Diane Adams. We did a duo, and Rick Braun. We did a duo, and Kathy Smith. So I was backing up other musicians, and I met Pete and Will there, and then we started playing. And I had some individuual gigs at the Oregon Willamette Valley Folk Festival. So I had a solo thing there, and I invited Will and Pete to join me at that festival
Mhm.
at the end of my set, and that kind of turned out to be kind of a hit of the second annual Willamette Valley Folk Festival. So we figured, hey, we got something. Let's practice
Keep it
and do some
together.
stuff, and then
Let's practice.
yeah, and so we started playing as a trio, and then we added a drummer, and then we did our first record, which we recorded in my living room and kitchen. What year was that? 1970.
That was 72.
72. So that was
Yeah.
just after, really just 6 months, 8
Yeah.
months after we had met. And
Wow.
then that was released. And then I had some solo gigs that I started bringing Will and Pete up. We did open for Seals and Crofts because I had a solo gig, and of course that went over really well. So we thought, hey, we really have something. So then I proceeded to drop out of the University of Oregon my final year to rehearse and play with Wheatfield full time. So then it became
Wow.
our career. Yeah.
So, and I did notice I had read something so in with the Seals and Crofts, you guys spent a weekend backing up Bo Diddley.
Oh, that was in Seattle, and
Yeah.
that was
What was that
fantastic.
like?
He was great. We didn't have a lot of time to rehearse, but it didn't matter. I mean, it was bump, 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 bump. That was his beat, and he used a capo, and he always played in the key of C, so we could look at his where he put the capo on and know what key
Right.
we were playing in. And he really enjoyed us. We enjoyed him. He was quite a showman. He told us a bunch of jokes and good memories. That was our first time in Seattle, and that really broke the ice for us there. So we played a lot in Seattle after that.
Well, guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for enjoying
Thanks for
us.
having us, Andy. Thanks.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday.
All right.
Great.
All right. And we're gonna give away a pair of tickets too to the show.
Cool.
Well, super.
So yeah,
Perfect.
first caller who can call 541. Let me think. Wait, 255-3796.
Again, that
All right,
number.
thanks, guys. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna go out. We're also gonna go out with Dust on the Highway.
All right. Great.
Oh wait, no, I have. Oh wait, no, I got to make a change here. Sorry,
Okay.
I had switched to. I switched it to Timekeeper for some reason.
That's the flip side of that 45 we did in 1972.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm gonna do Dust on the Highway. I got it right here, so we're
Cool.
gonna go with that.
All right.
92.7 KOCF. All right, give me 1 second, guys.